gentlemen. My name is Danais Leon Potolinta Disperlinga. I am a Master Cigar Sommelier, and I am also the International Association of Cigar Sommeliers Ambassador and Certified Instructor for Europe. Thanks to all the participants for joining us today on this virtual tasting and pairing seminar. This event has been organized by Placencia Cigars and the International Association of Cigar Sommeliers. I would like to say a few words about the association before we continue. The International Association of Cigar Sommeliers approaches cigar education from a holistic perspective. Our curriculum is progressive, broad, and provides students with up-to-date information about the industry. Our programs cover not only the basic cigar knowledge, but also pairing techniques, spirits, education, as well as services and management tools. Are here today Miguel Macias, which is the Executive Director, and two graduates, Robert Abreu and Christian Schroeder, both Master Cigar Sommeliers, and now they will introduce themselves. Miguel, please.
Yes. Good night, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who is joining this activity, the seminar. I'm very happy to have our honored guest here, Mr. Nestor Placencia. I think this will be a very nice opportunity to talk a little bit more about one of the I would say one of the most representative cigar families in the industry, that also have the one of the most amazing products, one of the ones that I like the most. And of course, thank you for our fellow cigar sommeliers who are going to lead us through this experience of pairing. Before going into that, I would like to say a couple. I was talking with Nestor before we start the seminar about how the International Association has a very emotional link with the Placencia brand, and it's basically because of two things. One is we have two levels of training, and one of the topics we always talk about in our trainings is history. We know that history is something you need if you're a cigar sommelier to make your customers live a different experience. Because at the end, you're not selling cigars. You're selling the stories behind the cigar. You're selling the years behind the cigar. So during our first level, we dedicate to train about the general story of the cigar industry. But when we come into the master, we choose what are the families that you need to learn the history, because if you don't know that history, you won't be able to understand the industry as it is today. So we talk about families and we talk about brands. Of course, we talk about the Coiba, the Davidoffs, and we talk about the Fuentes, and we talk about Placencia. We finished all our story about the cigars with the Placencia family, because if the Placencia family was not part of the history, maybe we wouldn't have the industry that we have today. And also we have our code of ethics of our students that we're about to publish, and we have some things, some rules, that you should not be doing events with pregnant women, or you should not be selling fake cigars. But there is something that we stole completely from your father, from Mr. Nestor Senior. That is something he says that I love, and I think that should be part of the education of everyone, every tobacconist or cigar sommelier. That says everyone who says that knows everything about cigars is either lying or is a fool, right? So yes, we train people, but we don't want the people to think that they know everything just because they took a training. There's years of understanding. Yeah, there's years of knowledge, and there's things that just change every day. I mean, we do the training, and we still every month are adding new things, new research, new content. So this is something greater. So that's the specific link we have with the Placencia family. That's the specific link we have with the Placencia brand, and that's why we feel especially honored to have you here, Nestor. So thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you once more to Nestor for being with us today for this opportunity. So now I will ask Robert, please, just to introduce yourself, to tell a little bit more about you.
Sure. So Robert Abreu, and if you can't do the Latino R, it's Abreu is fine. I don't get offended. From beautiful New Jersey in the U.S. and but born and raised New York. So I'm a native New Yorker. I just happen to live, eat, and sleep in Jersey. But cigar lover for many years, and decided I wanted to go a little deeper into cigars, into spirits, and wound up taking some training. And Yamir Pellegrino, who was the primary instructor, jokes that once you have this knowledge, it's a superpower that winds up sometimes driving you crazy when you see things that are kind of contrary to what you might believe. So it is a fun hobby, and all of us who are here are cigar lovers, and glad to be here this evening or this morning or very late at night like it is for the nice. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, but thank you everyone. Thanks for the invite, and I'm hoping we can spend a nice few minutes enjoying a fantastic stick, the Placencia Alma del Campo. Thanks, Anais.
No, thank you, Robert. Thank you so much. So this is the second time that we shared these sessions. It's been a pleasure always. So now I will ask Christian, please, to introduce himself and explain a little bit more about him, please.
You're muted, Christian.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you listen? Okay.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Christian Schroeder, and I'm very, very happy to stay this afternoon with yours and this beautiful opportunity to share knowledge and good time about the pleasure of cigar smoking. And this is very interesting because the opportunity to share about this special brand, the Placencia. I'm a huge fan of that, and it's very good time to share with our friends, Miguel, Danais, my dear colleague Robert. It is a pleasure to share with you this afternoon, and it's very interesting because make these opportunities to share different opinions about the cigar pairing. It's very interesting. This afternoon, I will offer you a different expression of cigar pairing with the king of the wines, with champagne. Champagne, ladies and gentlemen, is very excited about this interesting cigar pairing with my dear colleagues, and here we are.
Thank you so much, Christian. So we are all very excited about this gathering that we're having today, and also about the pairings, because champagne is something that a lot of people, they want to know how can we pair champagne and cigars. So I think it's going to be great.
You have Kikon very excited there. I see him.
Yeah.
He was clapping. He's excited, ready to go with the champagne.
I can see somebody's very excited about it. That's great. So we have left. Miguel already talked about Nestor, but we all know that he's here with us. We want to thank once more Nestor for his time to be with us, and we just want you to explain what's for you, what's for your family to grow tobacco, to make cigars. What's your experience? What are the feelings? What's behind all this?
Thank you very much. First of all, it's a pleasure to be with you guys. It's an honor. to try and to let the space of sharing our family history of why we do things. We do this because we love it. You know, this is a story of passion and resilience. We've been through many things, you know, since things that you can imagine from 1865, we start the love history of Placencia with tobacco. And it's a story that will continue for many more years. And this is the thing that I've been growing with since I opened my eyes. I see smoke in the room, you know. I've been raised with the tobacco all my life, as well as my sister and brothers. And it's a story, it's a love story. It's a love story that you put your life into what you do. I'm truly honored and grateful because God put me in this family. I could have been born in whatever other family, but God was so grateful with me that put me in this family that I learned so much. I have the blessing to have my dad still with me, so I can still learning from him every day. And that's a blessing by itself. Just that is a huge blessing. And working with something that you can say that the bigger meaning over here that you makes people's life better, you know. I truly believe that cigars is a deliverer of happiness, especially in these crazy times in the world. I see it, and we talk with the team. We are the responsibility that we have in our hands is producing the best that we can in the fields, in the pre-industries, in the factories, so that people can have a special moment with the product that we make. They're gonna relax. They're gonna be together with people they love. They're gonna be like doing this like a Zoom meeting. So imagine the responsibility that you took. So you have to do the best that you can every time, and you have to have your team already engaged with the bigger meaning. We don't make cigars. We make people's life better. We make people's life better, the people that work with us over here and the people who are gonna enjoy the product that we make. So that's the responsibility that we take in everything that we do. So that's why I take advantage of this opportunity to connect with the final consumer. For me, you know, everything that we do is for you guys and enjoy life, you know, and we have to keep enjoying life no matter what. So this is what we do. This is why we do the things that we do.
You know, that is so true, Nestor, because there's nothing else like a cigar. You can go to a bar and have a drink. I don't care if you're a wine sommelier. It's not the same experience as just anybody going to a cigar lounge, sitting down, and in about 2 minutes, the person next to you is your buddy. And you'll talk about your day, your life, your family, the struggles, and deep conversation, politics, bullshit conversations, all of that with that person you just met, and there's nothing else like it in the world that can happen than what a cigar brings. That experience is unique.
It's unique, and it's mystique. My father called it the big unifier. We can have with different strands of life, doesn't matter, religion, politics, backgrounds, economical status, that doesn't matter. We just love cigars, and that will bring us together. Which is, you know, that's why I think there's a lot of people in the world that still don't know what cigars bring to their life. So we have still a big opportunity to talk to these people and, you know, relax, have a cigar, let's have a conversation. When I have the cigar in my mouth, I can listen to other people, and I can truly listen to what other people are saying. So it's a magical experience. It's beautiful.
It really is.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Let me just add something.
Please, Miguel.
I don't remember who said that. I don't want to say that it was me, but I actually don't remember who was. But I heard something last month. It was beautiful. Someone was saying, smoke is the wrapper of the friendship.
I like it.
I like
it a lot.
Yeah,
so,
very nice.
If someone knows who's the author, just let me know to give the guy credit, because I will use it permanently.
I'm gonna use it as well. So
That's very nice said. So, well, before we continue, I would like to add that specifically in the case of parents, when we pair drinks with cigars, we divide the cigar into 3/3, and taking into consideration the flavor, strength, and notes of each third, we choose drinks to accompany the cigar. On this sense, there are two approaches, by complementing based on similarities and by contrast. I just want to explain this because Robert and Christian, they will provide some suggestions about pairings considering the thirds of a cigar. But before, I would like to ask, what are you smoking? And then we'll go to the pairing topic. So Nestor, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking an Alma del Campo Travesía, which is a 6.5 by 54. This is the new release, which is a box press, a slightly box press. We came with this cigar, listen to our customers. We have our team always listening what the people want, and we're able to experiment and try to please our customers. So they ask, I would love to try this cigar in a box press format. So, okay, you ask it and we deliver. And it just came out to the market, and the cigar is smoking incredible. I love it. This Alma del Campo means the soul of the fields. I'm a farmer, and I'm so proud to be a farmer. I think this is where the magic starts. It's impossible for anybody to produce a great cigar without starting first with a great tobacco, and everything starts on the fields. Picking the right soil, picking the right microclimate, and the most important, having the know-how, having the human touch to know when the tobacco have to be harvested, how you're gonna fertilize, or how you're gonna put in the curing barns, how you're gonna ferment it, and everything. So with this cigar, we try to get the soul of the field, and it's 100% Nicaragua. Have tobacco for the main Nicaraguan regions, so it can give you complexity of that every region. I always said that in Nicaragua, I'm a Nicaraguan, I'm from Estelín, so I'm even prouder that put our country in the top of the quality of the world, and with the product that we make, and the colleagues over here as well. So seeing that it's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure for having. So
does it has a blend from the 4 regions of Nicaragua?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes. Have Jalapa, Estelí, Ometepe, and Condega. So a little bit of every region. Have organically grown tobacco. Going back to the soil as well. The better that you treat your soil, the better you're gonna have tobacco. It's gonna be nutrient dense. It's gonna be richer. So you're gonna have that flavor that's gonna allow that tobacco to be fermented in the right way, to be aged in the right conditions. But again, everything starts on the fields. And we said that 100% of the leaves that are in all the Placencia brands are grown by us. So we know exactly the fertilization of that soil, how many days that tobacco has when we start to harvest. What we did, what the cultural things that we did in all the time that tobacco was in the field. How many days those leaves were in the curing barn. The smell it's amazing. It's an experience. And I have so grateful and blessed that I've been a witness together with a great team of people, all the transformations since the seeds to the final product. So which is that's amazing.
Certainly.
And if I could ask a question, Denise, just to kind of follow along with that, to Nestor, the family has been, like you said, since the 1800s, 5 generations in cigars. But Placencia as a brand is not 150 years old. Can you walk us kind of what was the trajectory of the family to get to having us have this beautiful stick in our hands?
Great question. We were learning and still learning to do it the best that we can in all these years. So there was learning from all these years in order to be, we're ready. We know more or less what we're doing. We keep learning every year. We keep learning, as my father said. And you can never say that you know everything in tobacco. And today I'm gonna learn a lot from you guys with the pairings and all the stuff. That's for me will be a learning experience as well. So we've been We've been tobacco farmers since 1865. We started the 155th crop already. It's on the field. So we've been learning how you can grow the best tobacco possible. And again, we're still learning. There's a lot of things that we don't know, and but we have the passion and the willingness to learn. And we said, you know, we start making cigars in 1985. So see how we can be more vertical integrated with the tobacco that we were growing, and we start making brands for a lot of people, you know, that we're very grateful that they give us their brand, they trust their brand on us, and it still does. But we said, we talked with my dad and my sister and my brothers, all the family, so we were missing the best part of it. And the best part of this is the connection with the final consumer. That saying there's a few things make me happier than to see what our products do to people, you know, and have that, it's amazing. When I heard, I celebrate my child baptism with your cigar. I celebrate my wedding with a cigar. I celebrate a great business deal with your cigars. I'm started hearing history of team building, you know, of the guys that owns companies start to make team building exercise and join cigars together. And that's amazing, a team builder. When you do this together with your team, so it makes everybody in line, it's amazing what cigar does. So we were missing that with our name on it. And if we put our name on it, it have to be with the best. So we start to save tobacco from the best fields, put it aside, start experimenting with different varieties that we work, putting aside, having the people behind it, you know, because everything that we do is a teamwork. I cannot say that everything that we do is just my father, myself, and a few people, in a few group of people. No, it's a lot of people, but we want that everybody have the same goal that we have. So that's again, it's a team building, and when you work as a team, there's a magic over there that nobody can beat that.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nestor. Thank you, Robert, for the question. Well, Robert, you have to tell us what you're smoking, and then Christian will tell us also. Please.
I have a question for the Mr. Placencia, Danais. Is possible?
Please go ahead. Sure. This is very dynamic, so we can go back and forth. No problem at all.
Okay. So actually, Mr. Placencia, I'm very interested about that. As a sommelier and chef, it's very common that my clients and customers ask for a good pairing for the food, obviously, and the cigars. But always my opinion or suggestion to them is make happy. What's the best pairing? It's the option that feels comfortable with you. But talking about the origin, Mr. Nestor Placencia thinks about the pairing of the cigars for your customers, or what is your best option for your cigars? I'm totally in love, by the way, with this tribu, Alma del Campo.
Thank you. I'm a Nicaraguan lover, so I love what the Nicaraguan soil and Nicaraguan climate gives to you. So I love to pair the cigars with flor de caña, you know, Nicaraguan rum, when we talk about spirits.
Centenario. Beautiful.
25 years, and they've been creating with a different limited edition products that are amazing. So I love Nicaraguan rum. And
of course,
and we talk about non-alcoholic drinks. I love Nicaraguan coffee as well. So you know, I see there's huge potential, the richness of the soil. That's why we're blessed. As such a volcanic soil with a lot of minerals, with a lot of nutrients. Now it's our responsibility to take the best that soil can give to us. And the microclimates that are in every region brings everything different. So you can create a completely different blends with the same origins when you change proportions and all the stuff. So that's what I love. I love as well, you know, single malts. But you know, as a parent, I love to try a lot of stuff. It's how you can develop your palate is trying different things. But I love to try, but I always back to Nicaraguan when I try the cigars.
Excellent. I love the Centenario Flor de Nicaragua. So what's your favorite single malt to pair for the cigar pairing of your cigars?
I like Macallan.
Macallan.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Very nice. Very nice. So, guys,
Okay.
let's talk about a little bit what you have in
mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the pairings. What are your suggestions for pairing with your cigars?
Who's first?
I think Robert
I'll
is enjoying the cigar so much, I don't think he wants to talk now. So
go right ahead, Christian.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, time to champagne. Okay. So, when I received these beautiful cigars, Alma del Campo, I think I'm totally in love about that because it's an authentic puro cigar. The Nicaraguan tobacco. It's well known for the spicy and for the strongest, but I'm totally in love about this kind of cigar because it's very well balanced between the strength, the spicy, the earthiness, and I know and I try to make an interesting encounter about these flavors with the champagne. As a sommelier, it's very interesting to offer to our clients, friends, and colleagues different options than the classic Oporto, you know, on the dessert wines. And I think the champagne offer a unique experience in the cigar pairing. Because what? But for why? It's very interesting because the champagnes, the first thing that offer in the mouth is a refreshment. Okay, the bubbles makes magic with the flavors in mouth with the cigar. And for the first third, I feel in this Alma del Campo Tribo beautiful notes of nuttiness, a little touch of woody, and I try to make a different pairing. Today, my option or my selection for yours, it's from the Le Maison Drapier, Champagne Drapier. It's made it totally for with Pinot Noir, and it's very interesting because it's a different expression of the champagne. Because we know commonly the Brut, Demi-Sec, or Dux inclus, but this is a different expression of the Maison Drapier because it's a dosage zero. It's a 0% of sugar, residual sugar in that. But for the first third, I will try mixology, the old-fashioned mixology, with a classic cocktail with champagne. It's champagne cocktail. Rock sugar, the beautiful Drapier champagne. It's made 100% with Pinot Noir. That is very interesting because this kind of champagne offers more structure, more density, and more flavors than the classic one with Chardonnay. So for the first third, we tried this champagne in a old school cocktail, that champagne cocktail, rock sugar, champagne, and a little touch of a very good brandy that Torres old age, 20 years, that offers a different expression of the classic champagne, that offers in palate the notes of nuttiness and creaminess that I find in this cigar. It's a very different cigar pairing, but it's offer refreshment in palate, but apports very interesting notes that mix in your mouth with the cigar, and it's very, very interesting. Cheers.
Salud.
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 That sounds awesome.
Yes, very interesting approach, Christian. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
May
Miguel,
I
would you
add
like?
something? Yes,
Please.
I definitely love what you just proposed. I think that the change on the palate when you add the brandy gives you some very similar flavors than tobacco. I wouldn't think that before, but the combination is really beautiful.
Yes.
There's something I want to clarify for the people who are looking at this that maybe are not very knowledgeable about wines. When we said champagne, we don't mean any sparkling wine. We're meaning champagne from France, because one of the selection you did is very, very good, because one of the things we need to avoid when we're pairing cigars is to add too much sugar. If you, for example, use a cava from Spain, they add sugar into the process. So it's a sweeter beverage that at some point, if you add a lot of sweetness, it will be difficult for you to get the most of your cigar. And when we do cigar pairing, the protagonist of the story is the cigar. It's not the drink. We use whatever is around the cigar to make the cigar greater. So by taking this specific kind of grape that is reduced in sugar with the champagne plus adding brandy, you're making something most likely to a cigar than the champagne. I just love it.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm totally, totally agree with Miguel. It's very interesting because the star itself is the cigar, and the champagne only apports in mouth a refreshment. But in this combination or this particular champagne with 100% Pinot Noir, it offers a structure, balance, and a beautiful notes that complement the flavors of the cigar. No, like a bodyguard that the cigar sits in front, and the champagne prepares your mouth between each touch with the cigar. It's very, very interesting, and it's a different option. For it, I have an example. In climates like in Mexico, I live in the north part of Mexico. It's very, very hot climate, and it's complicated that when you are with your colleagues, friends, or clients, in a business meeting, it's 36 degrees, and try the cigar with an Oporto. It's complicated. You need an option more fresh, more interesting. Okay, let's try champagne.
Very good.
Very good. Excellent, excellent proposal, Christian. Thank you so much. Robert.
So as both Nice and Christian mentioned, we smoke cigars by thirds, right? We look at reviews and they're written in thirds. So we pair by thirds. And what I found and I'm also smoking Alma del Campo in the Placencia, but the non-box press version. I was going to smoke the Guajiro, which is the Robusto, but that was going to end too quickly. So I said, let me go with the longer stick. So for what I found in this first third were a lot of creamy notes, café con leche, un cortadito, if you're a fan of Cuban coffee with a little bit of milk. I found some dried fruit notes, and even a little bit of raisins. And on the retrohale, once or twice, I got a little bit of the pepper, right? I got a little bit of black pepper. Once I got a little bit of the red pepper, but very on the lower end of the pepperiness. And Nestor mentioned, or maybe, I think it was Nestor mentioned that this is the soul of the soil, and we can taste the earthiness and all those softer, rounder notes. So I started with the cognac. Let's see, right there. Chalfont cognac. It is 40% ABV, so not a lot of alcohol. But on the palate, on the nose, I had a lot of kind of the apricot, vanilla, kind of softer notes, a little bit of oak. On the palate, more of the vanilla, the grape, the pear, and with what really I thought went really well is in the finish. The finish, I have the creamy, the oakiness, the vanilla, a little bit of that allspice spiciness, but not overpowering. And with this first third, it's just fantastic. And the nice I mentioned, there's kind of two approaches to a pairing. You either try to complement and find those complementary flavors, or contrast it. For me and my palate, I like complement, generally speaking. So I look for similar flavors. Even if they're expressed differently, I like to get the same notes in both of them. But the key, and this is what Miguel was alluding to, the key is that they're balanced. That they're not, one is not overpowering the other, but the cigar is the star of the show. So you really want to make sure that you don't lose what you're getting from the cigar. But at the same time, it shouldn't overpower whatever you're pairing it with. And I also found that, and we'll talk about this a little later, as we progressed, obviously it's not my first time smoking this cigar, as we progressed with the cigar, you get a little bit more of the spiciness that you tend to find in Nicaraguan cigars. Maybe the strength increases a little bit. But the beginning is just so smooth and creamy that for me, I found the cognac had the right balance. And I do have a sweet tooth, so I tend to like things that are a little sweeter, personally. But it's a great combination. I've enjoyed it as we were preparing for this, and as I was trying to pick out what am I going to pair. This was my favorite one to start off preparing with.
Excellent, Robert. Miguel, would you like to add something in this regard?
Yes, I think that I have a question. I'm more than adding something, because I think it's just a great proposal what Robert is offering. I have a question for Nestor in regards of the blend. But before going to that, I just want to check if there is any other question or comment on Robert, and then you can come back with me for the question for Nestor.
Robert?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Tírale.
Excellent. So, you know, we on the process of doing research, we normally get in touch with different producers. And there's something that called my attention, that I was talking with the guys from El Artista, from the guys from Davidoff, and all of them refer to the Placencia family and Ometepec as they have their lab in Ometepec. All of them use the same word. They have the lab, or they play with Ometepec in the good sense, you know, that you are being creative. So, you know, we're not farmers. We respect a lot of what the master blenders do and what the producers do, but we're more into the service. So for me, it was very interesting. And I said, next time I'm with Nestor, I will ask him why it's a lab. What you guys are doing in Ometepe?
Ometepe, great question. Ometepe, it's a beautiful place. It's an island, a small island that is surrounded by fresh water. In that island, we have 2 volcanoes. So the richness of that soil, it's amazing. We are about at 20 meters above sea level. So it's different than the other Nicaraguan regions. Esteli is 800 meters. Jalapa is about 600 meters above sea level. Condega is in between. So it's a completely different tobacco. You need to know how to blend Ometepe. You need to know how to work with Ometepe. Ometepe have a very distinct flavor, but the richness of that island, it's so impressed that we've been growing tobacco in Ometepe, understand that soil, understand the culture of the people over there. So and Ometepe, it's a magical place. So you know we've been working and we have Placencia, Alma del Fuego, you know, fire from the soil and fire from the sun, and create an homage to Ometepe because the percentage of Ometepe in that blend. So we're playing and still playing and still learning. It's a try and error. This is a try and error, and again, it's a teamwork.
You know, there's something. It's when you talk about Nicaraguan tobacco, and please, maybe I'm outdated with what I'm going to say. If I am, please let me know. It's easier to, let's say, generalize Nicaraguan tobacco from the regions because most of the producers use the same seed. So you can have somehow some similarities on the strength, some similarities on the flavor. Of course, the microclimates will change the smoking experience. But when we go to Ometepec, I know that you don't use the same seed. Are you using a different? Is something you can share? Are you using different seeds? It's just one. It's something you develop, or what are you doing over there?
We do those different seeds. What we do, we have our own seeds department. We came with we start with the basics of a criollo, corojo, of the Cuban, of the traditional Cuban lines, but we adapt those seeds to our microclimate. We do a crossbreeding to see which plants have better resistance to this disease or adapt better in these soil conditions and this and that. We've been working in that many years. We work with Eumelio Espino. I know you guys have heard about this. It's the most famous genetist, tobacco genetist in the world. So we've been working with for many years, trying to create special seeds that we use just for our cigars. You know, that's tobacco that we use for our cigars, and we still have a lot of different varieties that are in the pipeline, ready to be released when the moment is right. So you know, it's there's a saying that say the best people choose the best cigar, the best cigar choose the best seed, and the best seed choose the best yield, the best soil. So those are the things that we have to be involved in all the levels. And it start with the soil, with microclimate. We have to have the right variety, and again, you have to have the right know-how, the human touch, which is so important. We can have the best seed in the world, the best soil in the world, the best microclimate, but if we don't know what we're doing with those conditions that we have, the results are not going to be as good as we expected. So my father calls it the little big details. Everything is, you can see it is small, but at the end, it will create something big.
Yes, great, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Christian, please, would you like to go to your next proposal?
Are you
You
muted?
have on mute, please.
Okay.
There. Thank you.
Ready. Okay. My goal this afternoon to you is show the champagne could versatile be. It's very interesting because we at this time, this beautiful cigar offer me more intense flavors, like a leather, like nuts and spice, like a cardamom, or it's very interesting. But in this time, the heart of the cigar, the second third, and I need to refresh my palate to enjoy this cigar at 100%. For this reason, we try the same champagne, but only the champagne in the heart of the expression make the Pinot Noir express itself. I'm really interested if the lens can capture the color of the wine. It's 100% Pinot Noir. So at this time, in my mouth filled with these beautiful flavors, I need a refresh to continue enjoy the cigar, only with the champagne. This particular champagne with the Pinot Noir and Dosage Zero with that 0% of sugar apports not only a refreshing the palate, it apports a beautiful note of red fruits and a little touch of herbs that complement the flavors of the cigar. Not to avoid them, no, it's to enhance the flavors of the cigar with this particular champagne. So my point is, as a sommelier, is this. It's not avoid the wines with the cigar pairing. It's select or choose the right wine. The champagne, it's a beautiful option. So the point is choose the right kind of champagne. So my opinion or my suggestion is try the champagne with zero dosage, nature, or brands like Drapier that works with the most of the blend with Pinot Noir or 100% Pinot Noir, because it's more dense, offers more complexity that equals the flavors of the cigar. No try with the Blanc de Blancs or Duke champagnes. No. It's very interesting if you have in your in your locality champagnes like this with a zero dosage or the Drapier. It's a very good option. So we can also try with Paul Royer, the favorite champagne of Mr. Churchill, the Sir Winston Churchill. It's a beautiful option that paired amazing with the cigars. Enjoy.
Very nice.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you so much.
Christian, there's a question from Hugo Contreras.
Okay.
You know, I'm not an expert in champagne, so I will give you the questions, but I will give my idea, and then you correct me if I'm wrong or elaborate on it. Okay. He's asking, in the case of the acidity produced by the champagne, is it something that competes with the acid flavors produced by the cigar?
Okay, it's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an excellent question. If you try common champagne, I cannot say bad words about the brands, but it's a very interesting question. I think the point is the kind of the cuvee of the champagne. For example, the signature of the Moet Chandon, it's the most of the blend is from Chardonnay. Chardonnay offers more minerality and acidity. That it's a very interesting fight with the flavors of the cigar. But for that reason, I suggest champagnes with the most of the part of the blend. It's made it with Pinot Noir, because the Pinot Noir offers flavors that enhance the flavors the cigar, not fight with them, enhance. That's the point. So it's very interesting. I suggest the app Vivino in your smartphone and your local store, the wine store. Try with the labels of the champagne to sure about the blend that the house is using in this kind of champagne. So please avoid the commercial brands. Not only try the commercial ones. Try the other houses like Boulanger. It's a beautiful Paul Royer, Drapier, Taittinger. That's offer more complexity than the commercial brands. That's the point. That I answered the question correctly?
Yeah. I think so. I think it's I would like to come back with what you just said before. Sometimes you have the I would say kind of risk-free up of the safe zone recommendations, right? Rum, single malt. If you go for an aged single malt or if you go for an aged rum, somehow you're going in the safe choice. maybe you can go do a great pairing, but you're in the safe choice. The chances that you don't have a pleasant experience are not so big. If you go with wines, then you have a huge risk of having a bad experience, because it's not that every wine works with cigars. You need to be very knowledgeable about wines to decide which one. And it's, some people say, okay, give me the name of the grape. It's not the name of the grape. It's a combination between grape, years, production, region. You know what? There's a lot of things that you cannot just generalize of wines. And whoever says the Chardonnay is excellent for the miles and the Cabernet Sauvignon is excellent for the full flavor, it's generalizing, which is a rule that we as cigar sommeliers should never do, because the cigars are like people. Everyone is different, right? Same as wines. So my recommendation is either try to train yourself, try to read more about wines, try to read more about spirits, wines, champagne, cigars, join our lessons. And if you want to have an amazing experience, try to go to a place where a cigar sommelier is in charge of managing the experience. Once you go and experience the service with someone who is fully trained and knowledgeable about how to take your tasting to the next level, you will see why this role is important in the industry. Unfortunately, still there's a lot of work to do in order to reposition the cigar not as a luxury product but as a gourmet product. I believe it's both. And that's our role of cigar sommeliers.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Miguel. So before we continue with Robert, I would like to ask Nestor, what do you think about all this so far? Because we explained that we divide the cigars into thirds for pairing. So how do you see this? What do you think of this so far?
I'm loving it. I'm learning big time. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of this, that we keep learning, and there's so many things that we still have to learn. I'm in love with the experience in your palate. I think, you know, that's one of the best pleasure that you can have. Something that you can smell, something that you can have in your palate, taste it, and everything. So I'm learning big time. So thank you for doing this. I'm getting a lesson right now as well.
Our pleasure.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. So Robert, what would you like to?
Sorry, just let me give another before we go to Robert. We have other graduates here. We have Scott, who is an expert on coffee. We have Diego, who is a master of wine. So guys, if you want to add something, just feel free to jump in and add your comments, right? So please, Robert, sorry.
No problem. So when I hit the second third of the cigar, I was immediately just struck with a lot of chocolate, a lot of a bit of leather, some nougat, so very round, very round notes like that. It took the round from the beginning and just kind of put some air in it to make it even more round. So it's a very rounded middle. So immediately what came to mind was this Papas Pilar rum 24. So this rum, it's from Florida. It's a blend. The company doesn't share very much exactly where they source it from, but it is a blend, and they use the Solera method. And this is the 24th batch of Solera. And Solera is when the spirits maker will take out usually about half of what's in the barrel and replace it with a new spirit, so that there's always older spirit inside the mix, and then they age it. So this beautiful dark, you see how nice and dark that is, just has tons of very like what you immediately get is like caramel, molasses, chocolate covered cherries is kind of one of the big things that I get on that. And like I said, when I got to the second third, that was the one that immediately came to my mind because of those rounded notes. On the nose, we get a lot of cherry and vanilla, and butterscotch. So very nice. And I said before, I have a sweet tooth. So those sweet things just came to mind. And again, the approach I tend to take is more of those complementary flavors. And the finish is very creamy, is little kind of dried fruit, and it's a shorter finish, so it's not a long finish. So it's, again, not overpowering the cigar. The cigar still stays as the main character, but it's just a very, very nice compliment. And yes, it is kind of the safer one, but we it is one that I truly think goes note for note and well balanced, and just plays off each other very, very well, so that every time you take a sip, you still have the remnants of that cigar, and when you go back to the cigar, you still have the sweetness and the round notes of the rum. I'm a big fan of pairing rums. Again, I have a sweet tooth. And the flor de caña, olvídate.
Of course. Thank you, Robert. Robert, I would like to ask you something. I believe that rum is 42%, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have mentioned it. It's 43.
43?
So 43, I believe. Yeah, 43. So it's 86 proof. Yeah. So again, and as the middle, we get a little bit more strength on the cigar. It's not overpowering it. It's still kind of very, very well, but lifting up the alcohol a little, because it doesn't have a lot of sharp notes to it or a lot of spice. I thought you could still handle the 43 ABV without a problem.
Yeah,
and that's why I started at the beginning with a 40 ABV, to keep the alcohol level low, so you don't overpower the cigar.
Exactly. That's what I wanted just to mention, that because for some of the friends who are with us today here, we said that we divide the cigars into thirds, but there is an explanation for that. So the intensity and the evolution of the cigar increases, right, from the first third to the second third and so on. So just not only the alcohol is important, also the notes, flavors and all, but alcohol just adds certain power to this second third. So it goes better with the second third. As you said, you started with 40% alcohol and then you move to 43. So I repeat, it doesn't mean that this is the only factor to take into consideration, but it adds something else to the intensity of the drink. Miguel, I don't know if would you like to add something in this sense?
No, I love it. I tried that rum just once, and I love it. I think it's if maybe I'm mistaken, correct me, Robert, if I'm wrong, but they have the finish on different barrels. They use port wine, they use single
ex-bourbon,
malt,
export, yep.
Mm-hmm. Ex-bourbon, Spanish
they do
cherry.
Yeah.
They
do a lot of interesting things. Again, the company doesn't share a whole lot of what they do,
mm-hmm.
or at least where they source it from, but they are doing very interesting things, and it's very consistent. I have had it numerous times, and obviously the bottle's not full, so it's always getting used here.
Yes,
and I just find it a rock solid go-to.
Yes, technically speaking, the second third is where you need to have. In the first third, you're getting to know the cigar. So you're looking for a more gentle companion. And the last third, you're maybe having a lot more of the combustion that has been impregnated on the leaves, and you have this strength of the last third. So you need to take that into consideration. For me, the best part of the cigar is the second third. So it's the one when you can add this sweetness, it's the one that when you can add this complexity, because you don't need to worry about an overpower of the nicotine, or an overpower of the TAR on the cigar that you have in the last third. And also you already got to know it, it's already your friend. You have been talking to him for a while. So I guess this dark rum is a great choice for the second third.
Thank you. So, Nestor, would you like to add something in terms of the cigar? We have been talking about the evolution of the cigar and the thirst. Would you like to say something about it? Because you are the specialist in cigars.
I'm learning, remember it. But I'm agree with everything you guys been saying. I think the second, third is when the flavors start to enhance the complexity. I have notes of coffee, chocolate, a nut, but everything is starting to get around it. And I love this. I love the cigar because of the complexity. And I always said we blend for full flavor. We don't blend for full strength. So the flavor is what we're looking for. It can be a full flavor in a mild cigar, in a medium cigar, and a full strength cigar. You can have full flavor in both. So I think the complexity is inhaling and the flavor, you know, and that's just, and the salivation that have in your mouth, I think is great as well. But I would love to try the cognac and the drapier, and I'm eager to try this suggestion that you guys have, and the rum as well.
Right. It's a great exercise. So by tasting and trying, we discover which are the best options for us and how we also enhance the experience of smoking a cigar by just accompanying with the right either spirits or any other drinks. So Miguel, I don't know if there are any questions so far.
There are a couple of comments that I would like to share.
Okay.
First one is from Brian. Brian is also a graduate from the Masters. He's a Canadian living in Las Vegas. He says that in the second third, he's with the Placencia Reserva Original and pairing with a Par Cognac and dark chocolate. And Scott, who is, I told you, like expert on coffee and also fellow cigar sommelier, he says that maybe adding an espresso with an African at the second third would work very well. I agree. Yes. This creaminess of the African coffee on the second third would be a great add to the Placencia Alma del Campo.
Excellent. Good. So we are very happy to have Brian here. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, everyone. This is really good.
Thank you.
Oh, Brian.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, so Christian, would you like just to continue to the third word, please?
Okay, so at this time, the flavors are very intense. And talking about the question of Brian that knows of the dessert, it's time to pamper your palate at this time over the fabulous journey with this beautiful cigar. And you can make a different expression with the same champagne. At this time, the final third, it's very intense. And it's an opportunity to, I insist, pamper your palate. And we try a very classy champagne cocktail that Kir Royal, and then we try with the same Drapier Dosage Cero Pinot Noir with a garnish with, you can use the same flavors of the champagne with the Pinot Noir. It's principally red fruits like strawberries, like raspberries, and and we add a garnish with fresh strawberry in this time and add a little touch of crème de cassis to offer to your palate a beautiful dessert to final your journey with this beautiful cigar. This is a Kir Royal. Here.
Cheers. Thank you, Christian. Miguel.
What I love about the champagne and the cigar is that both are products for celebration.
Or
But let me show you just we're currently writing a book about pairing, and there's in the chapter of champagne, I will just take some minutes to tell a very nice story. We were doing the training in Shanghai last year, and I was talking to a guy who was telling me that he was it was in Shenzhen, who is like the Silicon Valley of China, and the guy was like this executive of a high-tech company, and he was saying, you know, I was in charge of this project for more than a year, and you know, X amount of money and the project and the software and whatever. So at the end of the event, the big boss came with champagne, and he started sharing with the champagne with everyone, and people took the champagne, they cheered, they celebrated. It was a nice moment. And then this guy told me, champagne is for celebration, group celebration. Cigar is for personal celebration. Because once everyone on the team left, he kept with his boss and he smoked a cigar. And I will always remember what he said. He said, you know, I don't remember what was the taste of the champagne, but I do remember the taste of that cigar. And I say, what was the taste of that cigar? He says, success. That was Beautiful. The taste of the cigar. Yes. I love the idea of merging both, because if you can have the public celebration with your personal celebration and enjoyment, it's another level.
Yes, it's beautiful. Can I add some details? It's very interesting, because I always says to in my classes that the cigar is a ludic pleasure. It's a celebration with yourself. So this kind of pairing, champagne with the cigar, it's like a huge prize to you for a good day, for a good moment to share with the family, with the friends. In this special time that we're living, with all things that you know, it's very, very necessary. Offer to yourself a ludic moment, a pleasure, and a special moment. Make your moment with these options. It's a very, very good time to open a bottle of champagne, share with the family, with the friends, and please company with a beautiful cigar like this. That's the point. That is the perfect pairing is that your own. But if the pairing offers you a good time, a happy moment, a ludic time, you are correct. That's the point, I think.
Great. Diego is doing a comment. He said, I was going to say the same thing. Entering the final third with intensity rising significantly, I'll go into the pairing with something that has more smoothness to take the intensity of combustion build up. Intense in flavor, but smooth and soft to the palate. Spanish Solera Brandy, of course, or a run like Diplomatico. Yes.
Beautiful.
That would be great choices. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful Diplomatico.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Robert.
Sure. So for the final third, as
you know,
yeah. So as we get into the final third, and we do get more intensity in the cigar, the flavor has risen, the combustion, and we get more of the pepper. Here we start getting that more traditional Nicaraguan pepper on the retrohale. I get a lot of the red pepper and black pepper, but it really has kind of now given us a solid medium plus is where we're at now. And what I went is with this Basil Hayden dark rye whiskey. So beautiful, very dark whiskey. It is a blend of Kentucky and Canadian rye whiskey. And here's kind of the trick. They add a touch of port wine. So it's whiskey with a little bit of port wine. So you now take rye, we know is usually very much more peppery and spicy. So we still kind of get that. But that port wine just rounds it out and gives us these notes of caramel and berries, and you still get the oak, the very woody oaky flavor, especially on the nose. Let me get my glass. On the palate, we have more of the caramel and dried fruit. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful color.
Beautiful color.
And it has a super finish that really gives us a lot more of the dried fruit, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of the allspice, a little bit of cinnamon in there. And with the, as we hit this last third of the cigar, this went really well. When I first did it, I was afraid because, like I said before, rye tends to be a little higher in the spiciness, and I didn't want something that was going to overpower the cigar and just leave that in my mouth just full of spicy rye. And my personal palate, I'm not a rye lover, but with this cigar, excellent. That port wine just really, really does it, and it's an excellent combination. Both of them are very well balanced, and you continue to have the rounded notes with a little bit of contrast in the cinnamon, and the pepper, but you're still just really, really in a good place, and your palate will thank you.
So Robert, I actually started this pairing with an old fashioned made with that exact Basil Hayden dark rye.
Awesome.
And that's how I started this first third, because of what you said. That was my introduction to the cigar, introduction to the drink, and that's, I'm a Canadian. I'm used to the high rye whiskeys. So that's how I started it. And yeah, you're right. It's fantastic.
It's a fantastic,
Yeah.
that port wine is magical. It just completely balances out the sweet and the spicy.
Very nice suggestion, Robert. Brian, thank you so much for your comments too.
Of course.
So, Miguel,
I just saw a comment from I think it was from Scott about the Glenmorangie Quinta Ruana. That also for the final third would be excellent. If you're a Scotch drinker, that would go very, very nice. Again, because the Quinta Ruana has all that the port wood, the export casks, that would really just give it such just nice complement to each other. Again, sweet tooth. So I like the sweeter stuff.
I like to add to the question from Scott Timan. I'm a huge fan of from Glenmorangie, and I would like to recommend the Glenmorangie Milshun. That's offer the best sweet expression of Glenmorangie. Try it; it's wonderful. And I think about Robert, dear colleague. I'm totally in love with this kind of your third option. I want to try it. So it has a beautiful color.
It is beautiful. Ven para acá. Come.
Okay. Voy para allá. But it's good to try the Quinta Ruban and try to find the Milshun Glenmorangie. It's a beautiful whiskey from Glenmorangie with the sweet notes that pair perfectly with this kind of medium strength cigars, and I think that's a perfect option from the portfolio Glenmorangie with this. Amazing.
Thank you very much, Christian. So Miguel, are there any questions or comments from the friends?
No more questions. I want to add something more for the champagne. Wines and cigars are very similar in a lot of things. One of those things is the aging. So we're now talking about the champagne and the cigar. If you have the chance to have an aged cigar with a vintage champagne, it's an orgasmic experience. So please take into the consideration that the cigar gets improved with the years. I don't say it's improved, it matures. It's just like a person. It's different. It's less strong. When you get older, you're less strong, but you're more wise. And the same happened with the spirits. Sorry, with the wines. So we're not talking for sure about vintage because we want to make it more mainstream. But just take that as a tip. If you had the chance to get a vintage champagne, try to do it with a vintage cigar, and then you will get, I would say, like the good advice of the good advice of two nice grandpas.
Thank you very much, Miguel.
I have a quick comment.
Okay, please, Brian.
Miguel once told me that, you know, pairing is not just about the flavors, but it's about the atmosphere. It's about maybe what's going on, what's happening around you. And when Christian, when you presented that first pairing of champagne in that drink, I immediately thought, well, you know, our first third of that cigar, we're really trying to get to know that cigar. We're trying to embrace it and get to know it. And think about how many times you go to an outing or a party or a celebration, and you may not know everybody there, but the first thing you do, you walk in, and what are you presented with? A glass of champagne. And I thought that was just a fantastic first third pairing from a mental social capacity, as well as the fact that we're getting to know the cigar on one hand. We're socially, you know, we're used to having champagne as that first kind of drink, whether we're at a cocktail party or whether a celebration, just to get to know who's there. I thought that was really good, and I thought it was really creative.
Yes, of course. That's an amazing comment. So I have another recommendation. Just forget about the grapes and the other things. Try the very basic response or very basic option to champagne pairing with cigars. It's the rosé champagne. The rosé champagne that's very fresh, very dense, very complex kind of champagne that offers a beautiful pairing with the cigars. That's very simple. Just only take your favorite brand of champagne, rosé option. That's the point. And enjoy.
That's a safe choice. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, sure.
Rosé, yeah, with the rosé, you can't go wrong with that.
Thank you very much, Christian. So, Miguel, are there any questions? Because I think that we have been discussing about all these pairings, and of course, that's our passion, right? But I'm pretty sure that friends, they also want to listen to Nestor to talk about cigars. And
yes.
We might just get off track if we go to other topics regarding cigars, but I think it's fine because we have got the opportunity of discussing all these in a very nice way with very nice proposals from Robert and from Christian too. And thank you, Brian, for your input too. Any questions? Any direct questions for Nestor at this point, or we can talk a little bit about Placencia cigars?
I actually have a question for Nestor. If while people either write it or so as we look at the Alma del Campo, and this is the second one in the Alma series.
Yes. So
what was kind of how long did it take you to come up with this blend, and what was the process? And because I think that I find it interesting as master cigar makers, master cigar blenders, just that whole process of coming up with a blend that you say this is it, and kind of how long did that take you?
It is blending process is fascinating. It's when everything comes to an end, when everything that you have done in the farming and the fermentation and the aging comes to an end. So it's a fascinating process. Our take with blending is a teamwork process. We have operations in Honduras. You know, we have an amazing group of people over there. We had a great people over here in Nicaragua. So what we do, we put the cigars, we have the cigar, we have the tobacco, and start try and error. try and error. You know, we said we have this badge. We want to have a medium plus cigar. This is what we have. Let's start with the knowledge that we have for every region to start to put in proportions in this blend. Let's try it. Let's put this tobaccos individuals. We smoke individuals tobaccos by itself. Everybody write the notes. We taste the cigar. We know that the cigar we're gonna change with time. So we put that cigar in the aging room. When have 2 months of aging, we bring the cigars back. Some different blends that we created. Some cigars will elaborate, other cigars will stay, other blends are gonna be decrease in the quality. So we keep the ones that we like, and if we have to tweak it a little bit, we do it. Then we go back to the aging room. You know, another more 2 months, 3 months, depends. And then we start to try it out again. We're gonna, every time, the commitment to all of you guys, that every time that we're gonna release a cigar that have the Placencia name of it, we need to be in love with that blend. All of us have to be in love with that blend. And it's the take that we have doing us as a team. You know, who is your master blender? We have a lot of people in the blended session. It's not just one person. So how you gonna not use the amount of knowledge that all these people have for many years, having experience and learning about the tobacco? So we use the team experience as a whole, and then we came with a new line. And the name Alma, I love it. You know, that's why we said light up your soul, you know, ilumina tu alma. Because that's what we do. And elaborating a little bit about celebration, I love to find things, small things that I have to celebrate every day. And in the middle of all this craziness, we have a lot of things to be grateful for. And let's celebrate with a cigar. Let's celebrate with spirits, with the champagne. I'm learning so much from you guys, and I love the chemistry that all you guys present over here. So I'm enjoying this seminar big time. So thank you all of you guys for the invitation, because it's amazing, and we have to keep celebrating every day, because every day that we're alive, we just open our eyes, and that a celebration by itself. It's a huge celebration that we take for granted.
It's true. Thank you very much, Nestor. Thank you.
My pleasure.
There's a question over. Sorry. Yeah, there's a question. Give me a second. Say, what is the future of the series Alma de? These representations are wonderful, Campo, Fuego, and Fuerte. But they have a plan for something else?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We just coming with a new Alma Fuerte with a lighter wrapper. It will come in the hexagon shape. So that's the new release that we have. Another line extension from the Alma Fuerte. I'm in love with nature, and I think that we have so many things to learn from nature. There's a science that called biomimicry. So that means that you can mimic nature, and nature have been with us 3.8 billion years. So that's why we came with the idea with the hexagonal shape. We're a very traditional company, very traditional in industry by itself, but we want to be a little bit creative within the traditional. So there's a lot still that we can implement, that we can try with, that we can release. So that's why we're coming with this line extension with the hexagon shape. That is a bestseller of all the Alma Fuerte line. That I am very proud of it. And we still have waiting for the right time with Alma del Cielo to be released. And we have another cosecha. The cosecha line is the one that we make in Honduras, celebrating the years that we've been growing tobacco. So we're a cosecha 146. That is mean the 100, that's crop from the 146 crop of the Placencia family. And as I said before, we just started with 155th crop. And every crop is a learning experience. Every kind of weather, you know, every kind of soil. And we experimented with different locations, different farms, and different varieties as well, that we can be so creative. And we have then another of the new release is gonna be especially for our Asian markets. It's a Placencia, the year of the ox. It's an amazing cigar made with a very special tobacco. So it's going to be a limited edition, especially for our Asian market. In some European countries, we're going to leave a few for the American market as well.
That's great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Miguel, are there any other questions or comments?
Yes. There's a question about our friend Oscar from Venezuela. Nestor, can you talk a bit about the aging of this Alma del Campo?
Alma del Campo is tobacco aged for 7 years. So it's amazing what times does for the tobacco. You have this tobacco, and with the time, with the right aging, it's gonna open up. As you were saying, getting a vintage champagne with a vintage cigar, wow, what a great combination. And so this is the aging time for this tobacco.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yes. Well, it's part of a question that I had for to place myself, and it was about the importance of the aging for Placencia cigars. You have answered that question in part, so I believe it's important. I love aged cigars, and I always mention, because sometimes people they smoke and sometimes they don't know, right? That some people, they like strong cigars, but nicotine over time starts to break the links, and then allows other flavors, other aromas to come out. So it might be very, very pleasant smoking an aged cigar. So you will be able to perceive a lot more things than when you smoke an aged cigar than smoking a very fresh cigar, because the nicotine content is going to be like a kick. It's not going to allow to these other things to go out and to be enjoyed.
Yes, 100% agree with that. If you want to make a strong cigar, that's the easiest thing to do. You just put ligero, and then you're gonna have something that you're gonna kick your chest, and then you're gonna have that full flavor. But you really want to have that experience? I think as the quote that Miguel says, age makes you wiser. So that makes all the harshness is gonna be away, and it's gonna be rounded, and you're gonna be able to take. That's why Nicaraguan have this knowledge of a strong cigar and this and that. But if you age that strong cigar that you do, you're gonna have a completely different experience. So take time. Tobacco, if you want to do it right, you cannot rush it. You have to take the time, and you have to do it right from the very, very beginning till the end. Imagine that you fight all the pests, all the blue mold, all the weather that you have. You harvest those beautiful leaves, and then you age it, and then at the end you put a little bit more humidity in the tobacco when you make the cigar. That's gonna destroy years of knowledge, of hard work, or when you have in the aging room. If you have too dry or too humid, there's so many little things that you have to be aware from the beginning to the final step. So take your time. Don't rush it. Because it's something that you're gonna love, that you're gonna celebrate with, by yourself or with a group of people.
That's great. Thank you. So Miguel, I think there is a question.
Yes, from Scott. Scott says, are you going to continue the Almafuerte in the hexagonal vitola? And what is the age of the tobaccos? I assume that the tobaccos in the Almafuerte.
In the Almafuerte, it's a 10-year-old tobacco. And we're gonna continue with the Almafuerte with this lighter wrapper, which is it's amazing. It's waiting to be in release.
Nestor, let me ask you a technical question. You can either have, like, let's say 7-year-old aged tobaccos, and then you do your cigar and sell it, or you can do your cigar and age it for 7 years. What would be the difference on the smoking experience of each of these strategies?
I'm a big fan of age the tobacco before you make the cigar. I think when you make the cigar, that cigar have to be that ready to enjoy. And if you want to wait a little bit more, You can age the cigar as well, so the blend is gonna be more together. It's gonna marry better. But I'm a true believer to age the raw material and make it the cigar already with the right material, with the right tobacco. And then if you have the time to age it, we have some tobaccos that some already cigars that we age in for Alma Fuerte that we are aging in the aging room, the cigar, the plus. So we age the tobacco, and now we're blending a small amount of cigars. So that's once in a while I get one. It makes an experience.
Excellent.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. So I really enjoy very much Alma Fuerte. I love the Salomon. It's an amazing cigar. Yes.
Generation 5. Yes, it's a great cigar. Thank you.
I love it. So Miguel, any other questions or comments? Or?
No more questions. I guess we already take a little bit more time that we expect, Nestor. Sorry about that, but it has been very. It's like when you're in a nice movie, you don't realize how long you just look and see the watch and you say, how come this happens too fast? But thank you so much for being able to do this with us. Hopefully, once the world get a little bit normal again, we can do this face to face. But in the meanwhile, it has been a real pleasure, and I'm sure that I'm talking on behalf of everyone who is in this session.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, and I would love to have you guys over here to show it, and you can see through hands what we're doing with our people and with our team, with our fields, everything that we put so much love and care in our soul in everything that we do. So it will be a pleasure when everything gets into more normal. Please come if you have the opportunity. All your viewers and listeners, you're welcome also to see and experiment and have a cigar and have a celebration together. My father said that.
Can I add something to that, Nestor? Because I don't think people really understand when you guys as cigar makers invite people, you mean it. It's not bullshit. It's not like making some kind of let me be nice. Every cigar maker that I have come across, or just about every cigar maker that I have come across, genuine gente de la tierra, just good people. And when they tell you to come by because they are proud of what they're putting in our hands every day, it is truly meant to go down and visit.
Yeah. Thank you very much for saying that. As my father said, we don't smoke cigars. We enjoy cigars. It's not a smoke. Smoke is a bad word. We enjoy cigars. So let's enjoy more cigars together.
Absolutely. Mil gracias.
Un placer.
Thank you so much, Nestor, for your time, for sharing your experiences and all. And thank you so much to Robert, to Christian, Miguel, of course. And thank you to all the friends that they have been with us today. I hope you have enjoyed this session as much as we do.
Yes. I want to say thank you to Mr. Placencia for his time. It's a very huge pleasure to share this time, to enjoy this beautiful job, and this an amazing opportunity to share not only the English, just the enjoyment to share a very good cigar. My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Danais, for managing the crew and making this happen. And thank you for being up so late.
My pleasure. I'm just feel sorry that I couldn't smoke. That's one of my passions. So next time. Thank you very much, all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much to all, and keep doing what you're doing. You're educate people to the best pleasures in the world. So thank you, and keep doing that. I really enjoy it, and keep have this chemistry that you have between all of you guys. So thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All blessings for all from Monterrey, Mexico. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.
For you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.